Good morning. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. So my name is Mabna. I'm a gospel artist. I've released 5 singles and also a music video and called Special Needs Child. So on this channel I share about my faith through my music, through teachings, but also because I'm a mom with a child with special needs, I will also be posting videos about disability in general and some of the experiences of families with disabilities. So watch out for my next video. I've decided to share a story which is from the Bible and it's taken from the book of Luke 19, 1-10. There was a man called Zacchaeus who was described as a chief tax collector. What that means was that he supervises other taxmen. Zacchaeus was a wealthy man, but Zacchaeus was also not liked by the people within his community. And the reason was because he was overcharging people tax. And so he was not particularly liked at all. In fact, some describe him as a criminal, as a notorious sinner. Zacchaeus heard that Jesus was passing through his town, Jericho. Bible says he was very eager to see this Jesus. Bible doesn't tell us why he was eager, but I don't think it was because of a spiritual reason. I don't think it was because he wanted to be drawn to Christ. Because people have already told him he's a sinner. So why would he even bother joining to Christ? But I'm tempted to think maybe it was because he's heard a lot about Jesus. So what happened during Jesus' 3 years ministry on earth was that he was performing a lot of incredible miracles, healing all kinds of diseases. And so people will come from far and near when they hear that Jesus was coming to your town. They'll bring their sick and their loved ones and Jesus will heal them. Also, Jesus was an amazing teacher. He knew how to teach, to break it down. Jesus will use parables, so things that are relatable to the people, so that they can understand what he was saying. So he was an excellent teacher. So that was also one of the reasons why people will seek out Jesus, will follow him whenever they heard he was near in town. Anyway, Zacchaeus was eager to see Jesus. But Zacchaeus was not a particularly tall man, so it was difficult for him to see Jesus in the crowd. So what he did was run and climb a sycamore tree. Some Bible translations say he climbed a blossoming fig tree. So on the tree, Jesus passed by. Jesus stopped right at the spot where Zacchaeus was, looked up and said, "Make haste, Zacchaeus, because I'm going to be a guest at your home." In shock, definitely in shock, he just came down the tree and led Jesus to his home. People and all Bible says, some translations say, all that heard Jesus say this to Zacchaeus grumbled, complained, and said, and remarked and said, of all the people you can have, you can be a guest to, you're not going to be a guest in this notorious sinner's house. Some said, so basically people were saying, why would Jesus want to be a guest in Zacchaeus' house? He was a notorious sinner, a criminal. So why would Jesus consider being cozy? Some translations say, why would he consider being cozy in this notorious sinner's house? At his home, Zacchaeus said to Jesus, "Lord, I will give half of all that I have to the poor, and if I have cheated anyone, I'll pay them 4 times. 4 times? I wonder why. So he must have really been, overcharging them, because 4 times was a lot of money. Does it mean he was charging them 8 times? That is not important, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so Jesus' response to that was, and I want to read that. So that's the verse 9 of Luke chapter 19. So Jesus' response to Zacchaeus' decision was that salvation has come to this home today, for this man has shown himself to be a son of Abraham. So note how Jesus describes him, a son of Abraham. How do people describe him? A criminal, a notorious criminal, a notorious sinner. First thing, Jesus remarked, for the Son of Man came to seek and save those who are lost. The Son of Man came to seek and save those who are lost. So what's my take on this story? First of all, Zacchaeus had a name. His name was Zacchaeus. However, people addressed him as what? A notorious sinner, a criminal. And this was because of his dealings with the people, because he was being dishonest. Okay, so what's my question? My question to myself and to you is, How do we call ourselves? Maybe we made mistakes in the past, or people have made mistakes for us. Maybe we've been diagnosed with something, maybe with mental health, or we have a disability. It is important, however people describe us, that we really know who we are, or who God says we are. Okay? Yes, I'm a person with disability, but I'm a person first. I have a name first, and then a disability. It's really important that we do not allow people to place us in a box or label us and keep us there. Okay? But we need to thrive and be who we know we are, who God says we are. Secondly, Zacchaeus was eager, and he had a strategy. His was just to climb a tree, to run ahead of the crowd and climb a tree. My question is, whatever you are facing, whatever difficulties you are struggling with, do you have a strategy? Do you have a strategy? If you don't, then you need to ask the Lord, because the Word of God has all the answers we need. And if you're already reading the Word of God, maybe you should include this in your prayer when you're praying. That Lord, guide me. Lord, open my eyes to see where I am missing. Because sometimes the answer is right in front of us, but our eyes are not open, so we are unable to see. However, when His light comes, He said, our light has come, and so we shall arise. And so when light comes, we'll be able to see. To ask the Lord for a strategy and for guidance, and He will grant us that. Thirdly, Jesus is grace. Jesus is grace. Amazing that He will extend His grace to a man who was called a notorious sinner. Zacchaeus was so overwhelmed that Jesus would not only stop for him, but call him. He knew his name and also decide to be a guest in his home. Why would you do that, Jesus? In the crowd were better people than Zacchaeus. They were the religious ones. They were the teachers of the law who could quote everything. And yet Jesus chose to be a guest at Zacchaeus' house. So this tells me that Jesus is gracious enough. Jesus has always been gracious, and it's always been the religious people. But Jesus wasn't. What did He say in verse 10? He said the Son of Man came to reach out and to save the lost. That was why Jesus came, and that was why we are here. That we remind ourselves and remind others that His grace is extended to all of us. Lastly, after receiving such grace from the Lord, decided to change his ways. He was not prompted, he was not coerced or forced, but he said to the Lord in the presence of all who were at home, he said, Lord, I'll give half of all that I have to the poor, and if I've cheated anyone, I'll pay them 4 times. So Zacchaeus knew what needed changing. He knew he could be a better person. He knew what he needed to work on. Sometimes we don't need to tell people. We know exactly what we need to work on. We know what we are struggling with. But we just need to have that communication with the Lord and ask Him to help us. If you're struggling with anything and it's difficult, that it's okay. We can tell Him because He knows it anyway. But let's remember, above all, that Jesus' grace extends to all of us. Whether we are saved or unsaved, He extends to all of us. But we need to respond. We need to embrace it. We need to accept it and accept His love. And so, thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. As you are aware, apart from talking about my faith and singing about my faith and sharing teachings about my faith, I'm also a mother with a child with special needs. So I will be posting, videos about my experience and other people's experience. And I'm hoping that as I share these videos, we'll be able to, learn from each other. If you have any experience, you can also drop it in the comment. So, please like this video. If you like it, please share. If you think someone needs to hear that. And also, please just leave your comments. If you have any questions about Luke 19, 1-10, any comment you want to add, any addition you want to add, please do, because I will also appreciate that. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day.